All over the world, marketers are abuzz over Google's latest mandatory ad tech feature, Consent Mode V2. What can and can't you do once it's implemented? And how will it affect your ad targeting and remarketing strategies? If you use Google services to target EEA and UK users and haven't implemented Consent Mode V2 by March, your ads will run on incomplete data, rendering personalization effectively useless. The update to Consent Mode V2 is supposed to make life easier for marketers, but for many, it all feels a bit confusing. So, what do you need to know about how Consent Mode V2 will change your marketing strategy? Let's dive in. Consent Mode V2 is a monumental change in how data is collected, managed, and used in Google ecosystems. We are shifting to a more privacy-focused user experience. Your site's new consent banner should spell out ad and analytics options and let users choose what kind of data sharing they're cool with. If you have more questions on what Consent Mode V2 is and why this change is happening, we've also made a video explaining just that, which you'll find in our channel linked below. Consent Mode V2 isn't the only major change Google is introducing. The other is the phase out of all third-party cookies from Chrome by the end of this year. Other browsers like Safari and Firefox have already gotten rid of cookies. For advertisers who are reliant on it, that's over 60% of all internet users worldwide. Think of the loss of third-party cookies like going from 20/20 vision to near blindness. Let's start with the bad news. Say bye-bye to hyper-targeted remarketing campaigns built on third-party data. Thanks to these two major shifts, it'll be much harder to target users based on troves of behavioral data. Without users' consent, remarketing will feel like shouting into the void instead of having a direct line to customers. And without third-party cookies, advertisers lose their ability to build detailed profiles of customers. The shift away from third-party cookies will be like moving from assembly lines to design workshops. Rather than mass-producing ads, marketers will have to artfully craft messaging, adapting them to each privacy guardrail. The latest version of Consent Mode introduces two new parameters to protect user privacy. Marketers will have to clearly communicate what data they're asking customers for and what they'll use it for, something that CMPs can also help with. List in simple terms the specific data points you want to collect, the purpose for each, and how it will benefit customers. Marketers who communicate well how data sharing benefits users will be best placed in this new landscape. Remarketing in this new landscape could feel like fishing with a broken net. Let's say you sell blenders. Before, a user who looked at one would see ads for it again and again all over the web. You could have targeted customers with a model-specific offer to nudge a purchase. Now, you can only serve a generic 10% off blenders ad. Not quite as compelling, right? So with diluted targeting power, clicks and conversions may drop. And prepare to witness inflation in action. Conversion costs will likely increase in the short term. If you have no insight into customers' behavior online, you may spend more on ads just to get that blender to stick in their minds. On top of that, measuring true impact could get fuzzy, and then like dominoes, optimization may suffer. Getting ROI cleanly tied to each campaign relies on conversion tracking that follows users' previous interactions. Now you'll find yourself wondering, did that ad drive 1,000 purchases or 10? It's like trying to fit a puzzle together with missing pieces. Marketers will struggle to get the full picture of their campaign performance due to the loss of data from users who don't consent. The inability to track customers is like losing sight of the trees and now only being able to see the forest. In the past, marketers were able to zoom in and see each individual tree. Every customer journey and conversion was tracked. They knew what kind of tree it was, how long the branches were, and how fast it was growing. Now, with restrictions on individual level tracking, marketers have lost a lot of those precise details. All they can see now is a large, looming forest. But this isn't necessarily a bad thing. While you may lose granular tracking, thanks to tools like Google's conversion modeling, you'll be able to spot big picture trends. Conversion modeling's aggregated anonymized reporting will give insight into trends. Where is growth happening the fastest? Are there noticeable gaps in the forest? This will allow marketers to optimize for the full ecosystem rather than just fixating on individual trees. They can also tweak the self-learning models by layering in the first-party data, which improves the modeling accuracy. Marketers will also be able to harness tools like Google's Privacy Sandbox, a series of alternative solutions to third-party cookies. And with Topics API, marketers can leverage aggregated data to target users interested in anything from fitness to finance, while remaining compliant with data privacy regulations. Neither the Sandbox nor conversion modeling is a crystal ball, but they'll help advertisers measure performance trends even without individual conversion tracking. Before you drown your sorrows in campaign reports, consider this. Marketers who pivot early can turn this disruption into an opportunity. This shakeup is a chance to forge real, long-lasting connections with your audience. This privacy terrain is an obstacle course, but embracing changes now will have you flying over future hurdles. Make no mistake, this is goodbye to lazy marketing tactics and the beginning of a more creative, strategic phase. This monumental shift could spark fresh ideas and formats that meet evolving consumer expectations. The industry is about to undergo a renaissance, and being the first to paint your bright brushstrokes could pay off in the future. Marketers now have more incentive to build trust by respecting boundaries and providing value upfront. Loyalty programs, rewards, surveys, newsletters, and other owned channels will drive engagement and first-party data collection, like building a bridge to your customers plank by plank. The transparency that privacy-led marketing encourages can breed long-term loyalty. And adapting to consent requirements now will only make ongoing compliance simpler as laws change across regions. And what about your team? In this new user-centric era, there will be renewed focus on cross-functional teams. Marketers will need to harness insights from analytics, sales, and customer experience teams. They'll embed themselves in the customer's world through interviews, social media, site visits, and community forums. The loss of retargeting data means increased focus on the awareness phase. Brands will strive to add value to customers' lives to earn the data access that once flowed freely. There will be more investment in top-of-funnel marketing. There will be a return to high-quality blogs, podcasts, videos, and copywriting designed to capture viewers' attention. Clickbait-driven content that's optimized to the hilt will be considered shameless in this new era of quality over quantity. Humans will use AI to craft quality content, but users will be able to spot a ChatGPT pen post a mile away. As new norms develop, so will vetted tools that enable personalization alongside compliance. Consent management platforms like Cookiebot CMP will soar in popularity as they help marketing teams adapt to Consent Mode V2 without sacrificing performance. Companies will leverage CMPs to collect data ethically while building trust. Marketers will need to optimize channels, technologies, and messaging intentionally rather than relying on massive campaign launches. They'll blend ingredients into their strategies like chefs, finding the right recipe for campaigns by being agile and flexible. Test, learn, and pivot will be the ethos for successful teams. The pivot away from cookies is like shifting gears. It jerks you temporarily before you pick up speed. Restraints can spark breakthroughs. Just like fuel limitations launched electric vehicle innovation, marketers may just build something better from these shakeups. The road won't be easy, but embracing privacy-led marketing now will future-proof your strategy. So what do you think? Will Consent Mode V2 spark an evolution towards privacy-led marketing? What new approaches will dominate ads and marketing in 2024? Did I get it? Oh! Hey, thanks for watching. If you found this topic interesting and want to learn more about how Consent Mode V2 will change marketing, like this video and subscribe to the User-Centrics channel now. And check out Cookiebot by User-Centrics for resources, from an in-depth setup guide to a free trial of our Google-certified consent management platform.